TripTips is a real-time chat application that connects travelers to basic community recommendations from travel experts all over the world. Here's a demo of the app. So you can log in. Basically, then we'll have all the cities that you've asked questions in. So in this particular case, this user has asked questions in Seattle, Manchester, Belize, and San Francisco. You click into the city that you've asked questions in. You then see your cities and the questions that you've asked. And so in this particular one, basically, Layla has put together a list of places that she's going to visit in Seattle, and she's asking someone from the community to kind of vet that list and tell her if those places are good or not from a local perspective. Here you can see Anakin is asking about the best bookstore in Seattle, and then we have these generic kind of community tips, the best advice and recommendations for Seattle from the community. Click in that, and you basically get a scrolling list of cool recommendations from members of TripTips. You can see what we're really doing here is focusing on really catchy headlines and then really cool images that help users make decisions about the places they want to visit. Okay. Actually, let me see if there is more stuff to that. Yeah, okay. So you can also search things within the city. Here, say I want to look for the cheapest flights from Rostov to Seattle. And then TripTips will have these guarantee recommendations. These are recommendations that TripTips has curated themselves. And so we've done the research, and we're kind of guaranteeing that Priceline.com is the is the site you should visit if you want to buy a ticket from Rostov, Russia to Seattle. Here we have links directly into Priceline, which will basically connect TripTips and Priceline from a referral standpoint. So we'll get a fee from Priceline if the customer clicks on a Priceline and books. You click the information button here, get more information about the guaranteed recommendation. Then you can close that out. Okay, now let's go back and see maybe another city. Let's go into San Fran, or let's go ask a question. So here we're basically going the path of real-time chat with a local expert. So here you see the system is asking you what city would you like to ask about. We want to ask about Belize. Then gives you a choice to either browse the community or to ask an expert. So we'll ask an expert. Gives you a list of pre-canned questions. You can also type a custom question. So here we're going to select a canned question here about where's the best hookah in Belize. Click on that. You're dropped into the community for that city while we search for an expert who can answer your question. So click on that. Here we go. We've connected you to Pedro. Click into that and you can start chatting with Pedro in real time. So he's given us the recommendation. We've thanked him for that. We end the chat. We now can rate Pedro. Let's give him 5 stars. We then can tip him if we would like, and boom. So that's the core kind of user experience from a user's perspective. The other cool thing we're doing is that any user can also become an expert. So here you can see my expert status is offline. If I click go online, basically takes me into another view of the site where I can now see the cities where I'm an expert versus the cities where I was asking questions and where I wanted to visit. And then I can go into those cities and I can see questions that other users have asked, and I can basically accept those questions, answer them, and potentially earn tips and make connections from other users. So that's a 10,000 foot overview of TripTips. Ping me if you have any questions. Thanks.